what happened to the original part 2 of the Art of Sealing series. I was getting ready to go edit it and I couldn't find it, and it's a problem. So I figured I'd go ahead and re-upload it. I was going to have to do a voiceover or edit or something because there's some new information that I learned, so I guess it's good that I have to just upload it anyway. So in part 2 we're going to be talking about hair thickness and how to choose a product. And hair thickness is something that's genetic. It's something that you can't change, not really anything you can do anything about, because hair thickness is determined by the size of your hair follicle. And your hair follicle is where your hair grows out of your head. It's kind of like a pore on your skin. You can think of it like that. But if you have a large or really open, wide hair follicle, then you're going to have thick, coarse hair because the hair has a lot more room to grow out of and it's thick. If you have a smaller or more tight hair follicle, then you're going to have thin or coarse hair.
And by thin or coarse, I meant thin or fine. Sorry, guys.
And then there's another one, medium type hair, that nobody really talks about, which is very possible because, like I said, your hair thickness is determined by the size of your hair follicle. So if you have a medium sized hair follicle, then you're going to have medium thickness of hair. So that's it. There's nothing else really I can tell you about that, but I'm going to tell you about how to choose a product for the type of hair that you have, or the type of thickness, whatever. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm confusing myself. Okay, so if you have thin or fine hair, if you hear thin hair, that's also fine. If you hear fine hair, that's the same thing as thin. So I'm just going to say thin hair. If you have thin hair, you're going to want to go for products that are light and very liquid. You don't want to choose products that are butters or creams, really. I would say look for products that are labeled as a dew, like Oyin Handmade Hair Dew. Look for products that are labeled as a milk, like Carol's Daughter Hair Milk, and any other types of milks. Just really thin, runny products. You don't want to go too heavy. You can also try using a spray, which is like a Oyin Handmade Juices and Berries, or a Frank juice. There's a couple other sprays out there that, of course, I can't think of right now. But you're going to want products that are more liquid than they are cream. You know what I mean? So I would suggest, when you're starting out choosing a moisturizer, start out by trying a spray if you have thin hair or fine hair. Start out with a spray and see how that works for you. The Oyin Handmade grape juice that I used to use, just as a refresher, has a lot of plant extracts, more so than it has oils. So that's going to be something that's better for you because your hair is thin and fine and it doesn't have enough thickness to sink down with all to absorb all of the oils that might be in some products for thicker hair. Some of you guys might have been trying things like Cantu Shea Butter or some of the whipped Shea Butter recipes that are online. Those things might not work for you because your hair is too thin to absorb all of that. So start out with a spray, see if that works. If you're finding that you need a little more, your hair's still feeling dry, then kind of move up to the dews and milks, okay? As far as your oils, I would suggest that you use oils that you're using for a sealant. I would suggest that you use oils that are already in liquid form. You don't want to use shea butter because that's going to be too somebody told me one time I said shea butter wrong, like it's supposed to be shea butter. S-H-E-A, okay? Shea butter, whatever, might be too heavy for you. Coconut oil is already in solid form. It's naturally in solid form, so that might be too heavy for you as well. So I would suggest that you try the oils that are already found in liquid form. These are things like sesame seed oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, I think there's like wheat germ oil or something. Just try those out first and see if that works. If you're finding that you need something more to seal your hair, then try coconut oil, but I wouldn't go so far as the shea butter, okay? If you have thick or coarse hair, then you're going to want to do the opposite of what I just said. You're going to want to use, for your moisturizers, those whipped Shea creams. Those are going to be great for you. What else was I using? I use this thing I call a miracle mix, which is really fantastic. I'll upload the recipe for you guys, but it's a mixture of conditioner, water, and oil. I use that as a refresher during the week, so you can try something like that as well. As far as your oils, you guys can do the oils that come in solid form, like coconut oil, shea butter, mango butter. Those will be fine for you. What I don't want you to think that I'm saying is that you need to pile anything on your head, because that's a stigma that kind of comes along with using product, is that you need to use a lot, and that's not, you don't need to use a lot. You need, when I say something that's heavy, I mean something that has more oils in it. And that goes the same for thinner hair. You don't need to pile a whole bunch of stuff on your head to get the effect. It's just that the ingredients in the products are heavier, okay? And for my mediums, my in-betweeners, the most great example I can think of for a moisturizer for you all is Kinky Curly Knot Today, because it's like the perfect consistency. It's not too runny, but then it's not too thick. So it's like the perfect weight to sink into your hair and to give y'all that moisturizer that you need. As far as your oils and sealants, it's the same thing. I told y'all I'm all over the place. As far as your sealant, I would say you guys can do coconut oil because it's not as heavy as shea butter. I wouldn't push you all the way over to the shea butter side. If you find that your hair is cool with shea butter, go for it. I mean, I'm all for testing and understanding your hair and making sure that you're using the right things for yourself. So if shea butter is good for you, go with it. If you find that shea butter is too heavy, I would suggest coconut oils and oils that are already in liquid form. I think that's it. I think I've covered it all. Like I said, I'll upload that video of my miracle mix. So check the description box, because I know I'm rambling and going all over the place. And comment, subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, check out danosongs.com for really awesome commercial use and royalty-free music. Bye guys!